I have never had brandy butter before. Ooh. Merry Christmas everyone, and also Happy Hanukkah, because tonight's actually the first night of Hanukkah too. And today we're going to be making leftover Christmas cake waffles. Timestamps are down below if you want to skip the initial blah blah, but stick around if you'd like to have a chat first. I do like to yap about the recipe I'm making ahead of making it. I'm actually making this video in advance because right now, actually on Christmas morning, I'm probably still asleep to be honest. But I wanted to get this recipe out there because honestly I already have some leftover Christmas cake situations going on. And this is a couple of weeks before Christmas. So this could be a good Christmas morning right now recipe if you're only looking at this now wondering what you should make for breakfast, or over the next couple of days when you are sick to the teeth of Christmas cake and just want to get rid of it without wasting it. I actually came up with this recipe out of desperation because I was so sick of Christmas cake. So hopefully this will be helpful to you too. Now I'm really excited because I specifically bought some brandy butter to go with the waffles. I know you're supposed to have brandy butter with mince pies and with Christmas pudding. I have never had brandy butter before. After much reading about it, I've actually left this out at room temperature so it should be soft, even though the carton says leave it in the fridge, because everyone said if you leave it in the fridge, because it's butter, it will just go really rock hard. So I ignored Marks and Spencer's advice and I kept it at room temperature overnight. I'm going to try it. Have you had brandy butter before? Fascinating. Ooh, where's my spoon? I'm going to have a little bit. I know I'm not supposed to eat this like a pudding because it is literally butter with a bit of brandy and sugar. Just a little bit. Oh, it is soft. I'm glad I left it out at room temperature now. That's the way to go if you buy store-bought brandy butter. Cheers. I quite like it. The butter's been whipped into a sort of buttercream type consistency, so it's almost fluffy. It's got a bit of a kick from the brandy, but not too much, and it has been lightly sweetened. I was really afraid it would be tooth-achingly sweet, because I'm not actually a fan of overly sweet desserts, and actually whenever I eat Christmas cake, I must admit I don't eat the icing. Sometimes I'll eat the marzipan, but it really depends on the quality of it, because sometimes it just tastes awful. But this, very nice. I think I'm going to serve some with my waffles. So with all that... I can't click. So with all that said, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. Right, we're starting with staring down the barrel of my blender jug at the moment, so let's dump some ingredients in. First things first, our star ingredient. We have Christmas cake, leftover Christmas cake, and this is 300 grams of it. And we're going to beef it up a bit with 75 grams of plain flour, 2 tablespoons of light muscovado sugar, because we are adding more ingredients to these waffles, so we want to bring the sweetness back up because we want these to be a bit sweet and cakey. A teaspoonful of baking powder to give it a bit of a lift. A little pinch of salt because we do want to balance out that sweetness a bit. 2 eggs. 30 grams of melted unsalted butter, which we've cooled a little bit. That's less than we usually put in waffles, by the way, because the cake already has quite a lot of fat in it. And finally, 230 millilitres of milk. Now let's get our blender. Now this is my blender. I use a Sage, and apparently there's a helicopter in the background. Sorry about that. I hope they're not looking for me for creating a crime against Christmas. And now we're simply going to turn it on. And we're going to blend it, so see you in a minute or two. That seems smooth enough. Okay, let's get our waffle maker. Did a quick equipment change there. Remember, I'm in a tiny apartment. I only have about this amount of space to work with, so had to swap my blender for my waffle iron, which I've now also preheated, so make sure you cook your waffles according to your machine's instructions. This is preheated now. So we're ready to roll. Let's pour some waffle batter in. And once it's done, mine beeps, which is quite handy. I'm going to fish her out. I'm going to cool her on the cooling rack. Oh, it smells amazing. very soft. Oh, yep, these ones are very soft. Let's get this one off. And let's do it again and again until all of our batter is used up. That's our last waffle done. We actually made 4. Oh, that last one is almost perfect. I did actually overspill one of them and made a bit too much, so this would actually make exactly 4 waffles. Right, I'm going to neaten up one, cut around. Of course, I'm going to eat the trimmings and I'm going to serve it. Well, that looks absolutely delicious and it smells like it too. And look, I even managed to make a little sort of quenelle out of the brandy butter. Not a good one. I have to admit I used the 2-spoon method, not the 1-spoon method. That's why it's not very smooth. Anyway, just for you, I'm now going to dust some icing sugar over the top to make it Christmassy. You know, I hate working with icing sugar. It goes everywhere no matter what I do. But since it's Christmas, just for you. Wow, blenders really do solve all problems. How easy was that? And I just huffed a load of icing sugar. Oh, it burns. I told you, I hate icing sugar. Icing sugar aside, this looks gorgeous. I'm going to grab my fork and I'm going to take a bite. Once again, I should have used a knife. I really want to have some with the brandy butter, but for the sake of experimentation, I'm going to have some waffle just by itself. So, cheers. I much prefer this to actual Christmas cake. It's still recognisable as a Christmas cake flavoured something. You could give this to someone and ask them what does this remind you of, and they would definitely say Christmas cake or Christmas pudding. But it's really fluffy and light. It doesn't have that heft, that heaviness of Christmas cake. The flavour's strong but light at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. You know, Christmas cake is very strongly flavoured. It has all of those really tart, strong fruits, almost bittersweet treacle flavour, really boozy. This is more subtle, but still the flavours of the Christmas cake come out. I really can't describe it. It's magic. You know what? From now on, I don't want to have Christmas cake unless it's in waffle form. Next year, I think I'll probably end up buying Christmas cake for the purpose of making leftover Christmas cake waffles, rather than actually for eating the Christmas cake as it is. I'm going to have some with the brandy butter now. I went to the trouble of buying it for the first time. Let's have a taste. Wow, new favourite dessert unlocked. By themselves, the waffles are very viable as breakfast, but that brandy butter transforms it into dessert. Right, I'm done. I'm going to make a cup of coffee and enjoy this. So there you go, leftover Christmas cake waffles. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe video and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, follow me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.tastes, and find me on TikTok too. I'm tashcakes there too, but my handle is food in slow motion. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you'd like to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I will see you all next time. In fact, I will see you next year. It's an awful joke. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. 2024 was the year of the waffle for me for sure. I wonder what 2025 will be.